So hello friends of the Friend for Legion, I am greeting you. You are very welcome on my channel. Today we have a very actual theme or a very actual topic. It's all about Afghanistan. You know, 2 weeks ago I stated something on my German channel about the Afghanistan war, about the withdrawal of the German troops. And some guy wrote me that, hey Thomas, you are not a politician, you are not a reporter, you are not a journalist. How do you dare, how dare you to make a statement about the situation in Afghanistan? I thought it over and I wrote back, hey, dear mister, you know, sometimes it's good and it's new and it's better when you are not politician or reporter or journalist, because a politician guy always state what his government wanted him to state, want him to say. And for the journalists and reporters, it's the same. They always say what the government want to hear. And it's good to have an old soldier like me giving maybe some impressions, some statements from his side, from the side of an old soldier. You know, my background is I have been 21 years in the army. And I've been in the German ground forces, and I have been for a long time in the French Foreign Legion. I left the French Foreign Legion in 2002 with the rank of an adjutant. And as a soldier with the French Foreign Legion, I have been in much countries, in the crisis area of this earth, you know, the last 22 years, 21 years. And when I left the French Foreign Legion, I was my service in the army has been followed by 15 service in the private security internet, or the private internet security. And I was abroad, most of the time abroad. I was in Saudi Arabia, I was in Israel, I was in Haiti, I was on sea in the maritime private security, and otherwhere, I cannot tell you where. And I have had a lot of leading position in the internet security, and I recently wrote a book. It's a couple of years ago, so I'm author also. I recently wrote a book, Terror in the 21st Century. Here it is. And I think that makes me being a big point to give you some impressions about the withdrawal of the coalition forces in Afghanistan this year. So what we are going to do now is kind of review the press, and I will tell you guys in America or otherwhere in the English-speaking country an impression what the European press says about Afghanistan. I will tell you things coming from France, Les Canards Enchaînés, Les Canards Enchaînés, and from Switzerland, Neue Zürcher Zeitung, New Zurich newspaper. Here we are. Leipziger Volkszeitung, German. Yeah. And of course, Le Monde Française. Here we are. And the Bayerische Rundschau. Yeah. This is a journal from my home country here. Bavarian overview. I can tell it like this. So, let's come immediately and first to Le Canard Enchaîné. What are the French people think about the American withdrawal from Afghanistan, or the withdrawal from the coalition force after 20 years presence in Afghanistan? Wait a moment. First of all, let me tell you some. Let us be part of a little point of history. What happened in the last 20 years, or how did things begin? This is very good to know. You know. Okay. So everything began with the attacks of the Twin Tower of the World Trade Center, September 11. You know, the USA has been targeted by a terrorist. The Twin Tower was a target, the Pentagon was a target, and we had other targets in the United States of America. And then President Bush stated that he will make a war against the evil, and I sit a war against all those who seek to export terror, and a war against these governments that support and shelter them. So it was clear. And the NATO followed him, the British government followed him, and there has been built a big coalition force rushing in through Afghanistan and later to Iraq. That's it. And what they wanted, the aim of the coalition force was first, of course, the first target was Osama bin Laden, his Al-Qaeda network, and of course afterwards the Taliban. They wanted to destroy Al-Qaeda, and they wanted to destroy the Taliban, and they wanted to help Afghan people to recover from the Taliban reign of terror, as I wrote down here. Yeah. So I have from my side two questions afterwards. Two questions. When it's true that they wanted to, I say the same sentences one more time from President Bush. A war against these governments that support to shelter them. What does it mean? Did Pakistan not support and shelter the Taliban? So my question is, why did United States of America not attack? Why didn't they attack, or haven't they attacked Pakistan at the same time as they did with Afghanistan? What was the reason? Yeah? Because you know better than I do that Pakistan is a big nest of giving birth to terrorists. They supported the Taliban and they sheltered the Taliban. And this is my first question. Why Pakistan wasn't a target? The second one is, my second question is, in 2004, the US troops with the coalition force destroyed Al-Qaeda. They destroyed the network Al-Qaeda. They destroyed Al-Qaeda's training camps. And Taliban has been very hard shaked. And my question is, afterward, why didn't we withdraw from Afghanistan already in 2004? Because the job was done in 2004. Why did we stay there? And I think from my side, the first thing is, it was a big error, a big mistake to go there. Because who told you that the attacks on the Twin Tower, the attacks on US soil was not, the aim of this was not to involve the Westerners in a war they don't want. So we followed an appeal of somebody, of an institution, of some persons, of some government's will, out of our knowledge of what we know, So maybe they said, if we attack America, they will go to war to fight the evil in Iraq, in Afghanistan, wherever, in Pakistan. And maybe that's what was wanted by some people. You know what I mean? Yeah. So first of all, for me, it was a mistake to go there. And the second mistake was not to push out after Al-Qaeda was defeated. Right? This is my point of view about the Afghanistan thing, about the Afghanistan war. Now we come to Le Canard enchaîné. Le Canard enchaîné. Le Canard enchaîné. This is a French newspaper. I have it here. Yep. And what do they say in Le Canard enchaîné? It's 20 years after, or 20 years later. You know better than I do that American and all the coalition troops has been 20 years in Afghanistan now. And in France, people say that actually they have a dictatorship of vaccination. And they say that in Afghanistan, women in very, very special women, all women, but also other peoples, wanted to be vaccinated against Taliban rather than against other things, wanted to be vaccinated against the Taliban rather than to be vaccinated against other things. I think we understand what they mean. Yeah? And it's also stated that the 8th of July, Mr. Joe Biden, United States President, stated that never we will witness or testimony what we have seen, that we can see Afghan people being evacuated from the rooftop of any embassy, like we have seen that in Vietnam. So, Mr. President, you have been wrong. Because that was exactly what happened. It was exactly what happened. And then the Canard Enchaîné said, "Oh, America, you are so naive. How could you think one moment the 300,000 Afghan soldiers, feeded with milliards and milliards of US dollar, could resist more than a couple of weeks? The Taliban advance, the Taliban push where Kabul. How could you believe this for one single moment? Everything is said." Okay. So let's come to the German journals, newspapers. I have here in front of me the Leipziger Volkszeitung. And in this Volkszeitung, at page 2 and 3, the Taliban are in focus, in full focus. At least 2 pages all about the Taliban. And the main headline is, "They are here again." They are here again. And they say that during the terror reign in the last century, and in the years 80s and 90s, the Taliban had not a big interest to be good people, to be good government, to have to shine through a good government. But this is exactly what they want to do now. They will show a face outside who is very friendly, because they want to avoid isolation. And I think maybe it's all about being or having a financial, means. This could be a reason that they are now changing a little bit the politics, what they say, and the newspapers say or ask themselves, what is conviction, what is true, and what is just a scenario from the Taliban? Do they play with open cards? And the Taliban spokesman, as I make a quotation here, Sabiullah Mujahid, he's a Taliban spokesman, said that we forgive everybody who fight against us. Do you believe so? We will see. We will see what they can do to be better politicians than in the past. Maybe it can work out. I don't think so. But I can be wrong. So let's see what the future will bring. So let's go to Switzerland now. I have here in front of me the new Zürcher Zeitung, the Neue Zürcher Zeitung. As you know better than I do, Zurich is the main capital of Switzerland, at least the economical metropole in Switzerland. And here also the war in Afghanistan, or the withdrawal from coalition forces from Afghanistan, is in focus and is on the headline. And they say, Sicherheitsexperten kritisieren deutsche Afghanistan-Politik. They say that expert in security topics, they are criticizing the German approach the German approach with the withdrawal and the German politics, Afghanistan politics. And they say that the German government has closed their eyes in front of the hard reality outside there in Afghanistan. And Foreign Minister Heiko Maas said that everybody in Germany, at least the specialist, the man who should know, had made a wrong security assessment, and they did not took for granted all the warnings people have given that it could come exactly to the situation we live right now. So wrong security assessment from all security experts in Germany. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. If you have normally a government like this, making mistakes like this, even it's the security services, or the military renseignement, or the politician. Normally, when you have a job in your real civil life and you do mistakes after mistakes, you will be fired, because what they have done is playing with life there in Afghanistan. I'm talking about Ortskräfte, I'm talking about Dolmetscher, Traduktor, I'm talking about people who lived with the German troops, who worked for them, and taxi drivers, butchers, bread bakers. I'm talking also about the soldiers who worked with the German ground forces there in Afghanistan. All these men and women are in danger, in deadly danger. Okay, my friends, let's go on. I have right in front of me the Bayerische Rundschau, and the headline is, have a look, and the headline is, Blood, Death and Tears. Everything was for nothing, for peanuts. Our war in Afghanistan was for peanuts. And in this journal, a lot of German soldiers express their deep deception about German politics when it comes to the Afghanistan topic. You know, we have here a gentleman. His name is Udo Schröder, and he has been soldier in Afghanistan for a couple of times. And he say what everybody thinks, what all the soldiers in Germany thinks. He thinks that we left 59 of our comrades in the field. 35 of them has been involved in direct action against Taliban, and they did a good job. The normal soldier in the field, from the Bundeswehr, they did a good job. They stayed there for 21 years. Over 160,000 German soldiers passed in Afghanistan, and they left sometimes their limb, some left their life. Everybody left their spirit and the brain, and a lot of them had kind of PTBS, post-traumatic stress syndrome, and they cannot understand how things happened in this way, going in, playing conquistador like an imperialist, trying meanwhile to help, fight on the other side, and rushing out quick, like blitzkrieg, like this, and leaving all the Ortskräfte behind, leaving all the men and people who worked for them behind. So the German soldier who has been in Afghanistan war is just purely and simple destroyed. He cannot believe what happened and how things happened. That's the headline in big, in grand, of the Bayerische Rundschau. Yeah. Everything for peanuts, everything for nothing. It seems like. Yeah. Okay, my friend, just in front of me I have Le French, Le Monde, the world, and the headline is Les dirigeants, les talibans sortent de l'ombre. Les dirigeants Taliban sortent de l'ombre. What means that the main protagonists, Taliban leaders, are coming out of the shadow, and they never hid their desire while living in exile in Pakistan to come back. This was always their wish, and they just have been patient. They have waited for the right moment. And this is what is the difference between us, the Westerners, and the Arab peoples, the Taliban. They are patient. They could wait for 10 years, 20 years, 40 years like they did for 20 years. And they can wait for 100 years. We are impatient. We cannot wait. And this is the difference. So they were not sleeping. They have just always one eye open. So, no, it's the right time. No, it's not the right time. Go to sleep a little bit back. And when the right moment came, that's it. Here we are. And this was their politics, and this is good. And they, like it's written here, they want to install a religious state in Afghanistan. Whatever this will mean. I think you would better know it than I do. And they say there's a lot of tension in the pont aérien to leave Kabul. So in the Kabul airport, a lot of people are there. Hundreds, thousands, 10,000 people are there. Taliban are controlling the airport from outside, and foreign troops are on the airport in Kabul. They cannot go outside to evacuate everybody from the embassy or whatever, from the consulate and embassy, like it was maybe in Vietnam, maybe in Nigeria, maybe in Indochina. But this time, everything is blocked. The Taliban locked l'affaire. And I know that it's also written here that the police special unit, Special Forces Red, has been there. They had contact with the Taliban, and they took out a lot of ressortissants, being always close to, in conversation with the Taliban, and they withdraw the ressortissants from town to the airport, always being in talkings with the Taliban, the Reds. This was a good action, but nobody talked about the Reds. Here in Germany, everybody's talking about Bundeswehr, KSK, and Fallschirmjäger, but nowhere you can read or hear something about the Red. And they did a good job. The French people did a good job. So a lot of problems in Kabul airport, as you know better than I do. You have seen the pictures, you have seen the movies on YouTube and your television, and that's the point. And La France, when it comes to airport, to Kabul, to Afghanistan, for a moment, the government keeps a lot of silence. And maybe this is a good idea. So actually, a lot of people, a lot of politicians, a lot of newspapers, a lot of reporters and journalists are talking, but everybody is stating the same thing as others are doing. You know, this is, they have an information here, information there, and this goes around and goes around. It's always the same thing. But I think that we Western people will never understand the Taliban. We will never understand the Afghan people. Never, never. Maybe we think we understand them because we have been there for 20 years, but we will never understand these people. They have their fault, they have their rights, they are good, they are bad, as we are, and nothing else. They are different, and we are different to them. That's the point. And what I wonder is that the Americans and French people, and also German people, have never learned from history. You know, the French have been in Indochina. They have been defeated in Dien Bien Phu in the last battle of Indochina and Dien Bien Phu. They knew that never ever a French foreign troop or another foreign troop can stay for long time or forever in a foreign country who is defended by the people who live there. And they did the same mistake in Algeria, in the Algeria war, as the Americans did the same mistake in Vietnam. We have seen disparated photos, people from the Viet Minh and Indochina war in 46 to 55, that when French expedition corps left Indochina war, you know, they had to leave behind all their friends, all the Vietnamese people coming from the south, no communist, and we had the same pictures in this time in 55 as we have today in Kabul. The same story repeated himself in the Algeria war. In Alger in 62, we had the same photos as we have here now today in Kabul. And the Vietnam, when the US Army left Vietnam, we had the same pictures as we have today. Nobody learned from history. And I wonder myself what happened to all these politicians and how did they manage to earn an important position as president, as foreign minister. I don't know. If they're not able to learn from history, they have not the place to be a politician, have not the place to be in a security agency, have not the place to be in whatever, in a responsible, high-level position. And this is my personal idea. And one more time, I believe that now Afghanistan is over, it's closed. Western will not push in one more time, nor the United States, nor the British, nor the NATO. It's vorbei. It's over. Game over. Aus die Maus. Ende Gelände. But as I knew that people are stupid and didn't learn from history, I think that history will repeat maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, maybe in 15 or 20 or 30 years. Unbelievable. So that's it for today. No coffee, no worky. If you want to support my channel, go down to the link. There is my merch link. Open the link, order 1 or 2 pieces, and this is the best way for you to support me and my channel. And overall, what I want to know is your opinion on my channel, your opinions over my opinions, and your opinion about the Afghan war, how it started, how it was conducted, and how it ended. What is your opinion about all these subjects? Okay, with this, I leave you in the weekend. Amitié légionnaire, yours Thomas Gast. Bye-bye.